Hello, I'm Carolyn Matheson, and I'd like to share with you some of the tips that I've learned as a master coach, but more importantly tips that I've learned from suffering from a chronic illness myself. The first thing I'd like to suggest to you, and please feel free with all of these tips to disregard the ones that don't work for you, just take what works for you. The first tip I'd like to suggest is acknowledge that you can't do everything. Acknowledge that perhaps your life is a lot different now than it used to be. Maybe you had so much energy in the past and you could do an awful lot. Maybe even 10 minutes activity is enough for you. 10 minutes, that's good. 2. Having an illness, going bankrupt, getting divorced or changing a job is a fairly major life event, and it can be an opportunity for you and for me to take a look at our lives and say, what is important to me, what matters to me. I've found that with many people who get sick, they keep doing the same things they were doing when they were working or when they had a fuller life, when they were more fit. So what does matter to you now? 3, when you find out what matters to you, decide what your priorities are in line with what matters to you and what's important to you. Are you doing things that may be taking up your time and maybe using your energy unwisely? 4, find out as much as you can about your illness if you want to. It can be helpful to join self-help groups. It can be helpful to look at websites that the government may have about your illness. It's great to be a patient who goes to an appointment and can ask questions because they know a little bit more about the illness. Take someone along with you if you find it a bit overwhelming, because when we're sitting in the doctor, and I know that I've done it, we think of all the things that we want to ask and then they go out of our minds. So if you want to, take someone along to support you. And finally, what I'd like to suggest is remember that you can't control that you are ill. You've got your illness, and maybe in my case I'll have it for the rest of my life. But what you can do is you can control the way you act and react on a daily basis. So you don't need to have a bad day every day. And whatever time of day it is, you may be able to pick yourself up and start your day again. I found I've started my day again at 7 p.m. in the evening, and I've had a better evening and slept well. If you find these tips helpful, please pass them on to a friend, please pass them on to people at work, and please do let me know what tips you would like to see, what you find helpful, and I'd love to include them on future lists. If you wish to contact me, you can do so via carolinsmatheson.com. That's my blog.